Did you know that African Americans are sent to jail 6 times more than whites? This is only one of the statistics that many people don't talk to you about. Hi, my name is Osman. I'm here to talk to you today about social inequality. Social inequality has appeared in our society for so long and does not get talked about because of how deeply it can run. So I'll be talking to you today about the three topics that I believe affect me and my community. Number one is law enforcement. Number two, gender pay. And number three, social inequality in education. These are the three topics that I believe will give you a more in-depth meaning of what social equality really looks like in our society. So let's talk about how it goes in law enforcement. One case that comes to mind is the Michael Brown case. The Michael Brown case is where a black man was seen in the streets by a police officer and was wrongfully shot at. An unarmed man was shot at by a police officer who believed was doing it out of an act of fear. And this is something that we use as an excuse for so many cases today, and we cannot let that fly. Another case that comes to mind is the Freddie Gray case. This case is where a police officer was escorting him to the jail system, and at the end of the ride was found dead. We let this slide so many times, and we have to stop this today. These are the main big cases that lead the Black Lives Matter movement today. Another case that comes to mind is where an SRO decided to take matters into his own hands, and while he was escorting a student to the principal's office.
Lost his job. Previously, he'd been on paid administrative leave while the investigation took place. CBS 17 obtained this video late last week. You see the deputy slam a student to the ground twice before dragging him down a hallway. It happened Thursday afternoon at Vance County Middle School. The SRO was a deputy with the Vance County Sheriff's Office. The sheriff has not released his name. The State Bureau of Investigation is looking into this, and the SRO...
This case is one of the reasons why I talk about it today, because we don't see cases like those ever all the time, and I'd love to bring this issue to your attention. Another minority that comes to mind is women. Women are unfairly treated in this society today with the amount of work they put in and the benefits that they do not reap. One of the cases that I've seen today is the Goldman Sachs case, where 4 women go up to the authorities and talk to the higher ups about getting into their company, and was unfairly declined because of it. According to the higher ups, they said because they lack the sufficient needs that fulfill their requirements, but we all knew that it was because of their gender that they did not get their jobs. At the end of the case, they did get their jobs, but it came with a price, and this is something women have to deal with for so long. Another case that comes to mind is where this one. Miss Ellis eventually obtained a higher paying level for designation that was given to her male counterparts on the first day on the job. But by that time, her male counterparts were on the way to even higher levels and compensation for similar work, ensuring that she would never catch up on gender pay gap. As you can see, women are always going to be behind men, and this is something we have to be able to fix sooner or later. Another case that I've seen is the U.S. Women's National Team suing their payers because of their success that they have brought and are still paid way less than the men's national team. This is a super successful women's national team that have won 2 in a row World Cups and are still paid 1/6 of what men are being paid to do. And the men's national team, who can barely get past the U16s. This is something we do not talk about, where we make excuses saying, "Oh, the men's national team bring a bigger audience," and that's not true. This event has brought over 67 million people to watch this event, and yet at the same time, the prices to get to the end of these events are so substantially lower than what men are seeing. And this we have to be able to stop sooner or later. And that brings me into education. Education, we see the minorities not be able to get the right education they want because of the color of their skin. Did you know that 30% of African American and Hispanic students with a GPA of 3.5 and above go to community college? That is because they can't afford it. That is because they do not have the funds to be able to go to these prestigious colleges with, I believe could even rival those white students that get lower than 3.5. Another statistic that I've seen is that 40% of children living in poverty aren't prepared for primary schooling. And this is something that we see in so many different schooling, where you have different kind of environments where black students will go to a black school and don't understand the difference where race does come involved, and where how to deal with other issues. Another statistic I would like to bring to mind is that in the U.S., students of parents with degrees was 6.8 times more likely to go to university than those whose parents did not have a degree. And this is something we need to be able to help students get the education that they need in order to be successful in life. So now that I talked to you today about number one, social inequality in law enforcement, where we see law enforcement taking into their own hands about what they believe is right. And number two, gender pay, where women are fairly treated when it comes to pay. And number three, social inequality in education, where students with different color skins can be treated differently. And that is my presentation for you. Thank you for your time.